Looking to trade your old bulk for some of the latest Pokemon booster boxes? Well, check CCGCastle.com. The process is very simple. Send in 1400 cards and get a brand new sealed booster box back. We ship boxes worldwide for free once we get your cards. Make sure to check video description or check CCGCastle.com for more information. How's it going, Pokefans? Once again, welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In today's video, we'll be looking at one very interesting deck list for the standard format. It's actually Solgaleo-GX featuring Metagross-GX. So we all know how Metagross-GX can be powerful, but in addition with Solgaleo-GX, in some mirror matches, you can just relieve because you're going to have that Solgaleo who's going to be capable to hit for 250 or 260 or maybe even for 280 with Kukui and Choice Band together, which will be more than enough for the one-hit knockout against Metagross or maybe even Solgaleo, for example, or any other 250 GX Pokemon in play. So I'm running 17 Pokemons, 33 trainer cards and 10 energies, 4-2-3 line of the Metagross. So Metagross is very important here because it can use Get system and power up energies from disco pile to active Pokemon. On the other side, Giga Hammer can go for max 180 or 200 with both Kukui and Choice Band, and also Algorithm GX can be used to search deck for any 5 cards. So of course we're not gonna rely on Algorithm GX, we're gonna probably rely just on the Soul Burst GX because in my opinion it's much better because it can help us to search a deck for 5 energy cards and put them on our Pokemon in any way we like. With the Ultra Road ability, we don't need to play Olympio or maybe Floatstone, we can just switch for free. Also with the Sunsteel Strike we can hit for 230, and the good thing is that after we hit for 230 we can discard all energies from this Pokemon, which means, for example, Tapu Lele will not be able to respond back attacking us for that energy count. So yeah, theoretically with Choice Band or Kukui this can one-hit knock out anything in play. And of course, running in addition to that 3-1-2 line of the Cosmoem, of course, and Solgaleo, and 2 copies of Tapu Lele-GX, because with Tapu Lele-GX, I can even use Tapu GX to heal basically all damage counters for my Pokemons in play, or maybe even Energy Drive, but mainly is here for that supporter surge. Item cards, 2 copies of Field Blower, very important, especially against Garbatox and Garbodor. In addition to that, running 2 copies of Max Potions, simply because with the Max Potion I can heal all damage counters from my Pokemon and then discard all energies. That's something perfect for Solgaleo. Trust me. 3 copies of Rare Candies. Then I'm running 2 copies of Rescue Stretchers, no Super Road or no other energy recycle cards, which means if we manage to use Soul Burst turn 2 in play, that's okay. Later in game we're definitely not going to use it, so we're probably just going to stick with Tapu GX healing our damage counters from our Pokemons in play. That's the reason why I'm not running Super Road, just 2 copies of Rescue Stretchers, because they are much better and much consistent. 4 copies of Ultra Balls and 3 copies of V-Seekers. 2 Stadium cards was of course Altar of the Sun, because as long as I have Altar of the Sun in play, my metal Pokemons will not have weakness, which will actually help me a lot in the match against Volcanion. In addition to that, from supporter cards, I'm running 1 copy of Bridget as well as 1 copy of Hexmaniac. Hexmaniac can definitely be good also in the mirror match, where we can simply shut down our opponent's abilities so he cannot power up energies from hand. We can also Hexmaniac against Volcanion, for example, so we have plenty of different options to stop abilities with Hexmaniac, even against probably annoying decks like Greninjas and maybe even those annoying decks like the CGI, but against Greninja we're definitely going to have hard time with this deck. That's just my personal opinion. Other supporter cards that I'm running: 2 copies of Lysander, 3 copies of N for the drop support, as well as 4 copies of Sycamore. Kukui is here mainly for that 20 extra damage counters and extra 2 cards to be drawn, and 1 copy of Skyla just because it's a good card for that item card search. Only 2 item cards that I'm running are Choice Bands for extra 30 damage counters, so we can pretty much one-hit knock out anything with our Solgaleo. Against some decks that actually can hit, against some decks that actually have 180 HP, for example, that Drampa GX, we don't need to use our Soul Burst GX, we can just hit with the Giga Hammer and Choice Band for like 180 and still have those energies available. Running 10 energies, 8 of them are actually Metal Basic and 2 of them are Psychics, just because we really want to have opportunity to use that Tapu GX and heal damage counters from our Pokemons on the bench. And that's pretty much it. That's the deck list that I'm gonna test and use and show you in today's video. If you're looking mainly for any of these cards, make sure to check CCGCastle.com, because with TCG Center 5 code you can get 5% discount on your first purchase. You can also trade your bulk for the upcoming Burning Shadows booster box. You can also find all of these cards to pre-order right now, so make sure to check CCG Castle and my video description for more information. So yeah, without further ado, let's go to the game test so you can actually see this deck in action. So see you in the game. So waiting my opponent to flip that heads or tails, and he decided to pick heads, which means he can go first. Let's take a look at the opening hand. One Cosmog with the Ultra Ball. That Ultra Ball will be for my Bridget, of course, after I pick my Tapu Lele. So I just hope Bridget is not priced, and I can easily set up my bench. More than that, who knows, I might even pull that rare candy as a top deck, and I might have that Metagross-GX turn 2 in play. So 2 Ultra Balls, not bad. Alright, Metal Energy and N. Interesting. Very interesting. My hand was very good, and even this one is not that bad. To be honest, I'm not gonna complain a lot. Oh, mirror match. Thumbs up. Let's see who's gonna be faster in this matchup. So I'm thinking about discarding, risking to discard Max Potion. This might be a bad idea, but I'm looking forward to have that energy attached down to my Cosmog, so I can have that extra card to be drawn by Dust Gathering. Alright, and let's Dust Gather for 1 extra card, which is another Belgium. Okay, not good. More than that, there's another Belgium for my opponent. Since he played Vulpix, probably he will need to pay. Probably his deck is a little bit maybe slower than mine, but who knows. There is a Ultra Ball for the Bridget and Max Potion, so he also discarded 1 Max Potion. Right now we both have 1 Max Potion in our discard pile. But this Ultra Ball is for another Belgium, and after that he probably gonna play supporter card like Sycamore or maybe even N. Yeah, V-Seeker for N, which is a nice thing for me, because I will take 6 new cards before opportunity to play my own supporter card, and I definitely like that. Whew. Okay, no supporter card, no rare candy. That's very sad. All I really need is just a rare candy as a top deck, and I'm ready to rock and roll. Metang and Tapu Lele. Okay, that's the advantage of Vulpix, of course. Ooh, just another Solgaleo as a top deck. Well, it's time for another Dust Gathering. It's just the Metal Energy. I mean, I could hit for 40 with my ramp, but nah, that's not gonna happen. So there's a Solgaleo-GX. Okay, so I'm scared right now. I'm actually very scared right now. He have Solgaleo faster than me in play. I also have 2 Belgiums on my bench and 1 Metang. There's a Tapu Lele, which might be, who knows, for the Lysander play. Maybe for just Skyla, maybe for another supporter card like Sycamore, or maybe for another N. Okay, I'm completely happy with that N. Alright, let's see. Lysander, Solgaleo, rare candy. Ooh, that's okay. That's okay. I like that. I like the fact that I have rare candy for Solgaleo available in my hand. And I also have Ultra Ball for the Metagross. But more than that, I'm gonna need something much bigger and better. So another beacon. Something like Sycamore, for example, as a top deck, or maybe, yeah, energy will not help too much. Well, I guess my best top deck is N. Just another Ultra Ball. Alright, so yeah, I guess I'm gonna Ultra Ball for one Metagross here, discarding two of my Metagross-GXs. Let's Dust Gather again for N. Okay, at least that's something. At least that's something. So he have 3 energies on his Solgaleo. The question is, does he have a Lysander available and the choice band for the one-hit knockout against my Solgaleo? That's the biggest question. Somehow he managed the setup. So far I have only one Metagross, and that's Solgaleo with the choice band available, of course. So this might be 230, and it's probably going to be 230. I don't see a reason why this wouldn't be 230. Lysander. And all suddenly I feel bad seeing that Lysander play for 230. However, there is a rare candy in my hand. Well, that end better be good. Okay, Max Potion is a good one. That's for sure. Max Potion is a good one, that's for sure. I'm gonna retreat down to my Cosmog. And I will try to Dust Gather once again. Okay, another N. This is like a chess battle right now. I mean, we are both in a good position. We are both set up, but my opponent is missing that very important piece of puzzle here, which is a choice band for the knockout against my Solgaleo, and he decided to retreat down to his Metagross. Okay. I'm definitely thinking about playing that, and to be honest. Alright, so Ultra Ball for Metang probably. Oh, for the Tapu Lele. So he probably thinking, well, my opponent will knock out my Metagross next turn with his Solgaleo, so I will have that Tapu Lele available in my hand. Well, that's not gonna happen because I'm gonna end him anyways after he hit me for like 150. And I'm just hoping that he will not be able to respond back with a knockout. Oh, there's a Lysander play. And it might be for my Solgaleo. So he really wants to apply as many pressure as he can to my Solgaleo so he can at least have double knockout, double hit knockout against him. Yeah, this is just insane. This is just insane. Let's go with the N. Field Blowers are way too good cards to be discarded that easily. That is for sure. So 260 for the first knockout in the game. And still good thing for me is that my opponent will need another Metagross if he wants to somehow power up his Solgaleo in the single shot. So he decided to promote his Vulpix, and this might be a game-breaking change here, because if I can find rare candy, I can power up for one turn my Solgaleo, play V-Seeker for Lysander and grab his Solgaleo and hit him for 260, and that is probably gonna be it. Or even better, just focus his Metagross on the bench. Okay, so I'm still waiting very patiently. I'm really hoping to find that extra rare candy, or maybe even Skyla for the rare candy. Alright, so Space Beacon for Cosmog and Tapu Lele. Alright, that's interesting. Whew, energy card, that's not good. So I'm gonna discard 2 energies with that Ultra Ball in search for Metang. I have rare candy, but I don't have another choice band available. Okay, sounds good. Energy attachment to my Cosmog, just because of the one reason. I guess I can put my Altar of the Sun here without too many problems. And I can play my VS Seeker into my N. And I can end my opponent here. Oh, there's a rare candy, but nothing else. This is pretty bad. Ultra Rod, 1 Geotech system for the 1 Psychic Energy, and time to use Tapu Lele-GX to heal basically damage counters from my Solgaleo, so he can be fully charged for the next turn. I think that was the best thing I could do with the cards available in my hand. I don't like the fact that I have that rare candy available without chance to play it. So there's a field blower, and my choice band is scrapped, which means I have 1 more available, and also have Professor Sycamore for extra 20, so I can have that extra touch or extra damage against his Solgaleo. Still waiting to see what my opponent will do next. He definitely have opportunity to knock out my Tapu Lele and take 2 prize cards with his Solgaleo, but this might not be the best thing for him, especially if I can hit him back for the 1-hit knockout. So there is a VS Seeker, and this VS Seeker might be for the Lysander, and really it is, and probably for my Solgaleo-GX. Who knows, maybe even for the Cosmog, but I wouldn't go for the Cosmog. I would probably go for the for the Metang. He decided to knock out my Metang. Alright, that's interesting. That was very interesting from my opponent. Well, Tapu Lele does not need that energy, so he can retreat for that energy, and another Sycamore here in my hand available. Yeah, and that's gonna be Sycamore for 7. So he got me here, unfortunately. Rescue Stretcher to put back that Metang into my hand. I don't see other way than doing something like this. Hitting his Solgaleo for like 20, which is more than enough to respond back with my Sunsteel Strike. To have that very important, actually 40, because weakness and resistance are not applied with the Tapu Lele. Of course, I could always retreat down to my Cosmog and Dust Gather, but decided better not to do it. Decided to let my opponent to have that 2 prize cards in his hand, and there's a Skyla, which means as long as he played Skyla, he's not going to be able to play the Lysander for my Solgaleo on the bench, which means he can have that Metagross number 2 in play, and he can power up his Solgaleo in the active position. to knock out my Tapu Lele for 2 prize cards, but after that I'm gonna be in a much better position just because I will have another Metagross in play and I have Hex Maniac to play, plus I also have opportunity to go for 230 with my Solgaleo, knocking out my opponent. And after that, he's not gonna be able to attack because of the Hex Maniac in my hand, so this is pretty much GG. Yeah, this is a GG, especially if he cannot knock out my Tapu Lele, then I don't need to talk too much about that. So Ultra Rod, retreat down to the Vulpix. Alright, so that will change things a little bit, but not too much, because I can still have that VE Seeker available, and I also have Choice Band available, so at least he tried to retreat. Whew. And Space Beacon with that Vulpix. Alright, time to retreat into my Solgaleo. Time to power up 2 energies with that Attack system. Time to play Choice Band and VE Seeker for the Lysander. And since I can one-hit knock out his Solgaleo, unfortunately my opponent cannot respond back, knocking out my Solgaleo, and that's it. 260, I'm going down to 2 prize cards, which means for the next turn all I really need is energy card, and I can also play, for example, my Tapu Lele into the Kukui for extra 20 just in case if I will need it. So let's just wait a little bit more. There's a Belgium for my opponent on the bench and that Phil Blower, so he can scrap my Choice Band. But still, even without Choice Band, I can have enough for the knockout against his Tapu Lele on the bench. So this is probably Wonder Tag for N. I would be surprised to see anything less but the N. So he definitely needs to grab N and enemy down to 2 cards, and this is his only opportunity to do something. Oh, he actually decided to play Karen. No way. He really needs to play that N. Because I have Rare Candy available, which means I have Tapu Lele, so I also have VE Seeker, which means I can grab myself a Skyla, for example. I didn't see if he played that Karen. He didn't? Yes, he did. Or he didn't. I'm confused. Probably he just discarded it. Okay, Giga Hammer for 150. 180 actually. Top deck is a Ultra Ball. And I can play my Ultra Ball for these 2 cards. And I can grab myself another Solgaleo, but unfortunately I don't have Kukui in my deck, but probably it's in my discard pile. No, it's not. Anyways, let's just use Ultra Rod for Solgaleo-GX, and let's power up that energy with a Giga Hammer, and I have at least that VE Seeker, which means I can Lysander his Tapu Lele on the bench and basically hit for 230, which is more than enough for the knockout and for the victory in this game.